Last time out in Mexico, we didn't have the best of races, but it was still some points finishes, which at this point, we're not complaining about entirely. Now, though, we've got some upgrades. Do we actually see a difference, or are we still going to be trundling back in third place? I hope not.
And Brazil, and there goes Prost! Oh, as did Ardu! My goodness, what about Patrese now? Oh my goodness, this is fantastic! Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately! This is amazing! Senna goes off in the first corner! Sixth position, and out goes PK! My goodness! I couldn't help it, and take back! Oh my goodness!
As you can see here, 21 points in third place is really not a good standing, and you can see the board confidence is getting lower. We may have put ourselves into the ground with our financial situation, and maybe the quest to keep Prost has killed us. We can't get rid of him, too much to buy him out, so it's, what's the word for it? Can't really think, but we're trying to mitigate the damage we've already caused. So I mentioned that we had an upgrade. We've actually had two upgrades. One we've just not been able to manufacture yet. So we have upgraded our front wing. I'll have a quick show you. There's a decent boost. You can see that's the first wing that's shown in red. There's some areas in dirty cornering that have been greatly improved. Speed-wise, not so much. But the other part we've upgraded is the underfloor, which hasn't quite come yet, but you can see there are some bigger upgrades coming in the speed department and in general dirtier cornering as which is good to see. On the development path though, we have an underfloor underfloor, that's what we've just done. Suspension, we have a suspension coming, which is to counteract our brake cooling issues, which I won't show a montage because that would take up most of the video, but Schumacher crashing has definitely been a issue with brake cooling. Or so I like to tell myself to stop myself crying. So when we come back from practice and qualifying of the French Grand Prix, hopefully I've got some good stuff to show you. We'll wait and see. So this may not look like the biggest of improvements, but it definitely is from a case of how being a bit closer. We're still waiting for those two other developments to come through, and those are going to be key. So 5th and 6th starting, not the best, not the worst. We can't complain too much. We've made a big ground on our gap between Benetton and ourselves, as you can see by that gap in Q3. But I've got just a little downside to show you. And that downside is nothing at all, because I am an idiot. So Schumacher had a crash, it damaged his front wing and rear wing, but it turns out I already had enough parts manufactured to cover those eventualities. So hopefully he's got his crash out of the way. Won't happen in the race. That's a given, right? Surely, you know, maybe. We're going to start them on both different strategies. You can see that Prost is on a medium to hard, Schumacher a hard to medium, avoids any issues with strategy, and I think we can maybe push Schumacher a bit longer and then have him push at the end on mediums. He's going to be just kind of battling away to maintain a gap. That's the best I think we can get. I've not given him much extra fuel because every time we've done that he's crashed now, so he can just chill. He can have a nice chill race, score a point or two, be happy. Prost, on the other hand, we are pushing him quite hard in that first stint. Even might push him there, get him some positions, and hopefully a podium. So here we go. It is the French Grand Prix. There are 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and we are away. Pushing hard. Prost has an amazing start, though Schumacher is struggling a little bit. He's going to have the Benettons on the inside. Could be on a different tyre stretch possibly, as though Prost goes down the inside of a Williams. He's looking to fight for third already. Got past Berger and now past Patrese as he flies on through. Let's have a quick look at the tyre situation. Yes, there's quite a few starting on hards, and not Prost, Mansell and Senna though. So that is hopefully going to be our battle to start with. Let's just quickly watch that again. 2 positions gained. So passes Berger already before hitting the apex, and then he's on the inside of Patrese, holds his line, and well, Patrese has to give him the space. And then just before coming up to turns 3, he is well and truly past. So amazing start. Yeah, the guys are celebrating, they're happy. Woo woo. Schumacher, however, has not had the same luck so far. However, though, he is still holding on to the back of Berger, who's going a bit mental there at the front, and he's going to go past Patrese. Patrese losing 2 places this lap already. Is he going to fight back? Oh, he is in actual fact. And hopefully that can give Schumacher something to hold on to a little bit. Might need to just give him a little boost that I don't want to, but we're not wanting to have PK right behind us, which he is at the moment. That Tyrrell doing mighty well to have got past Brundle. I think this could be a good race for the Ferrari fans today. As look at Prost holding on well to Mansell in this first lap. Things you'll love to see. It's good to see that although qualifying may not have been our best, the race pace is semi-decent with this new front wing, and Schumacher is holding on well to Patrese, who's had a big loss of a gap to Berger. That just makes it a bit easier for Schumacher to creep up on him. And Prost, meanwhile, is still putting the pressure on Mansell, who's also losing a gap to a McLaren. I think Berger's car may be coming to a bit better. He might have had a few issues in qualifying originally, and now he's trying to make amends for that. But so far, in our hands, quite in control at the moment. Schumacher is looking to go down the outside of Patrese for the chicane. Is he going to be alongside enough to make a move? He's attempting it. He has the inside for the next part of this corner. Is he going to have the straight line speed with that new front wing? I don't think he is. He's going to stick by him, though, still on his rear wheel. Williams is not being let go. And through this fast right-hander, can we carry the speed? We can, but unfortunately, Williams has snuck just a little bit back in front. It was a very good attempt of a move, and I'm sure we'll see that happen shortly. Prost goes for a move. Oh, he nearly does. I thought he was going to make a move happen there, and Schumacher just behind in the same position. I thought through turns 1, both Ferraris might get a Williams. It's a very odd pattern of McLaren far ahead, then a Williams and a Ferrari battling as Prost nearly gets it. And then it repeats again, a McLaren leading with a Williams and a Ferrari battling. It's an odd situation to be, a very clear 1 and 2 driver situation. This time though, Prost a lot closer, but Mansell sticking to the middle of the track. Doesn't give us much space, and I don't think there's going to be a move attempted on the outside. We cut back to Schumacher, though, who is going to attempt it. He's going to attempt the same move as last lap. I don't think he's going to have it in him to get it, but he's going to continue trying. This time he's a lot further ahead coming out of the chicane, but Patrese is bringing it back. Surely, though, we have enough of an advantage to hold our ground into this next corner, and we do. Can he continue it with the long right-hander? This tightening corner could be a difficult one as he outbreaks Patrese there. And surely that is him slotting himself in 5th. He has, and now he can drive on to catch up with Berger. Really good stuff from the young Ferrari driver. So Schumacher is complaining about tyres overheating. I want him to get a look closer to Berger before we think about reducing how much he's pushing. He's in a bit of no man's land at the moment, and Patrese is going to be fighting straight back on him. As we come round for lap 5, a lot of action happened so far in these early laps. I'm hoping that's not a sign of things to come with the French Grand Prix as it kind of fades out closer to the end of the Grand Prix. But here we go. Prost is going to look to the inside. Is he going to have enough overspeed? I think he is to at least make an attempt for the move. Outbreaks Mansell into the chicane. He's going to have that outside line, which hasn't been favourable to drivers. He's going to come back alongside once again, similar to Patrese and Schumacher in the reverse. I think Prost is not going to have this one successful. No, he's going to have to slot back in. Surely? No? Yes, there we go. I thought he was going to continue to attempt it. He does nearly attempt around the outside there. Well, he's keeping Mansell on his toes, that is for sure. Prost now going down the inside into turn 1. This time it's looking like a pretty decisive move. And before the apex, he's already ahead of Mansell. And that is now 2nd and 5th place for... No, sorry, 2nd and 6th. Sorry, Schumacher did not keep the place past Patrese. Patrese has re-overtaken. Unfortunately, but they continue in a battle, in fact, through sectors 1 into sector 2 as Schumacher tries to hold on to it. We did turn him down. I don't want that fuel being pushed too much and his tyres overheating, although as much as pace is related to that. We're going to let him kind of zone out for the moment. If he's going to be caught in this battle, we're just going to have to wait until we catch Berger, either battling away for it. Oh my god, as Mansell. Sorry, I'm going to get lost in my train of thoughts there. Just a really aggressive move, and that is Prost having lost the place once more. Surely can't fight back on this one this time round. He can't. Schumacher is definitely holding on well. I'm going to leave him like that without pushing. to see what the young Ferrari driver can do. So we've had a spin from the man himself, Ayrton Senna, and he's just lost the rear end, and it's brought the battle for first back into a three-way battle. As much as we're not quite right behind him, Mansell now definitely in the firing line to make something happen. And yeah, I think it could be a case of Senna just pulls on back ahead, but we'll wait and see. You never know. Mansell could have something go in his favour, maybe once in his life. I've kind of lost what I'm saying. The McLaren is just far too dominant, really. Schumacher, however, goes back past Patrese, not Prost. Get my P's, my S's, my M's mixed up. Michael Schumacher passes Patrese. There we go. And looks like he's going to keep this sticking to the middle of the road, not allowing Patrese to really go left or right. And we're now 2 and a bit seconds behind Berger. This is going to become the battle for 5th, I reckon, and stay like this. And, well, Prost ran a little bit wide there. It's just come with a little notification. He's not lost too much of a gap, a second behind now. I'm leaving this battle as it is. Schumacher, meanwhile, still continues to battle with Patrese. I've fluctuated between pushing him on the fuel and not. Another car's run wide. Who is that in Sector 3? I think that's behind us. Yeah, we've not entirely pushed him because I've got to keep that in mind, and he's better off pushing that fuel when he's in some clean air, which at the moment, him and Patrese have been non-stop battling. Same with Prost and Mansell, who he's catching up once again. We're in strong positions for the time being. We don't want to ruin anything. We don't want to make a mistake in our pursuits. A big thing that I forgot about, and I did wonder why his tires were going down so dramatically, is I pushed Prost a bit too hard. He has got a big tire disadvantage now. We need to get him to about lap 20, which is looking pretty tricky with what I've just done to him. Yeah, mistake by me. So it's been quite the dramatic fall off since we asked him not to push. I don't know what's happened to Prost. I don't know if maybe we've got overheated tires or such like. They're not too bad, but yeah, something's happened to him and he's slowed right down, which is a bit of cause for concern. We've just entered the pit window, the earliest possible moment that we could, in theory, stop. I think we're going to have to take it because otherwise the tires are going to drop right off. This is not looking good for Prost in this position, but let's hope the fresh tires does help us out. I think it could. I definitely think we can make a difference going on these tires, but yeah, let's hold off, wait and see. So Berger does pass Prost, and well, it was coming as we'd pushed those tires too much. It eventually happened, and you can see the difference in pace just based on the tires. So yeah, definitely a good time to have Prost go into the pits. A much longer pit lane than other tracks, 36 seconds in there, has pushed us very far back. Prost will now push on those hard tires. A little bit of traffic probably to get past in Brundle, Cesaris and PK. Hopefully he doesn't catch the Schumacher bunch before his Schumacher's own pit stop. Just don't like a conflict there, but I don't think he will. It is quite a drop off. So Mansell's had a spin, something to go in our favour. This is the back kind of end of the circuit. And oh, he's just about avoided the wall. And that's gone on to the main straight there with some Berger going on past. So the Williams garage not happy there. So where does that put Mansell? Mansell is behind Berger now. So, and Prost has just got past this house. He's cleared the two Bennettons fairly easily. That gap being just under 20 seconds. Okay, that puts us in a better position than expected. We're going to monitor that. If Prost does maintain a good gap by the time that Mansell comes out, we may look to him to go light on his tyres to save what we've obviously pushed the car extra on. He should, in theory, if you can see my mouse here circling this, that's showing that he'll be just above 30% at the end of the race. I'm not confident on that though. Our tyres drop off a bit quicker being, you know, a controlled team rather than AI based, which for some reason they can have a bit better tyre management. Patrese and Senna behind us going wheel to wheel, and we're in a good way. We're blocking Senna from progressing. That's what we want to do. We want to help our teammate out. Prost obviously got that to do. Mansell is in the pits. He's not even into the garage yet. Prost is just coming round the hairpin. And I think this is going to be a clean sweep because of Mansell's spin. Where is he? He's not even there. He's only just speeding up. And well, yeah, he has been mightily done. And Senna actually made light work of Schumacher. Surely, oh wow, went down the the inside of Patrese, the outside of Schumacher, and left them to their own devices. That's quite something, that. So there we go. Prost with the fastest lap of the race as well. Really doing a good job to pull that gap. 6 seconds now is the gap to Mansell, who has a few cars to get past. Maybe not safe on not pushing yet, but we will. I'm going to be reviewing it as we kind of go. So we're hitting a crucial point in Schumacher's tyre strategy. Now, the temptation to push him is there. He's got a lot of tyre life left, 45%. I think we'll stick with the lap 32 pit. So on lap 31, lap 30-ish, we're probably going to start pushing him, see if we can clear a gap of Patrese. So he does get past. I've just quickly switched the fuel up. We will have a look at that if it pops up. The key thing is Prost is not far behind, so I want to avoid Schumacher and Prost costing each other strategy. And it was easy as I pushed him up on the tyre wear, pushes ability to overtake. He's gone aggressive and he's done it well. Now, can he push on is the main question. It's going to be difficult. I am being risky. As I said, we know Schumacher's history in this championship. But a nice gap being formed as we look to create that gap for one more lap. Lap 32 is when we'll pit. And it doesn't look like Patrese is going to make any ground there on us. And I think quite confidently Schumacher has made a good lap, or good sector 2 anyway. So crucially at this point, Patrese has pit, and so has Berger in fact. We have got to make sure this lap is as quick as possible. Dragging along Prost a little bit can only help him in his adventures as well. Do we look to reduce Prost's speed? I think we're going to leave him. We're not going to push him, we're not going to reduce it. I think Mansell's pace is quite good. The other thing I will do is drop off his pace on the fuel, so we have a little bit more for the inevitable, really, that Mansell will catch. But ultimately, Prost in a net second has a lot to do. Mansell, having already spun, maybe is a good kind of omens for us in the future. Maybe Mansell's going to have more mistakes. But yeah, not Prost, Schumacher is pushing mightily hard. Prost catching quickly. But ultimately, the important part is the gap to Patrese. Sitting at 23 seconds. Gap to Berger sitting at 9 seconds. There's not much of a gap, so Schumacher may lose out momentarily, but hopefully on the fresher tyres is going to be an advantage. So Schumacher is just coming out as Patrese is coming down the start-finish line. He's not going quicker yet. There is Patrese. I think Patrese is just going to get it. Oh, it's very close as they nearly come wheel to wheel. Schumacher ultimately hasn't really lost out. We'll turn him back down, so he's not pushing that. But the fuel is now a push. We've got a lot extra. I'm hoping Schumacher can get us a 5th. 2nd and 5th would be a really good outcome for us. Crucially now, with 13 laps to go, Mansell is closing that gap to Prost. It's not the quickest of closings. He's faster, but he's not very much quick. Other words to say, he is a bit quicker than us. But he battles Berger now, and hopefully that goes in our favour. But remember, Berger is on the medium tyres. He is very much on par for getting a McLaren 1-2. So yeah, hopefully leave them to battle. Helps our gap, helps maintain. We want to get to like lap 45 and still be in this position. Schumacher, meanwhile, I've pushed him on tyres and on fuel at different points. He's still pushing on fuel. Still ahead of Patrese ultimately, but he cannot shake him. No way past and no way to continue down the road for him. It's one we're going to have to keep an eye on. Oh, it's not what we want to see, and Prost is way down there. I don't know what happened. He's locked up, and then the car's done its whole funny thing. I think he's lost both places now, as we were doing so well there. Yeah, he's had to come back on track quite a bit behind them. Yellow flags are... Yeah, because the yellow flags are for us. So, I'm going to have to stop pushing him now. That is over. Hopefully he can catch those two while they battle. But we might now be settling for 4th and 5th. On lap 50 now, and this is our battle at the moment. These two going wheel to wheel, and it's back and forth constantly with nothing being given as Berger runs wide. I didn't see that come up. Was it enough to be significant? It's just a cross track, so he loses the place to Mansell. But yeah, we've non-stop action for 5th place. This has been almost every lap of this race since it started. And I don't think it's going to end until lap 53. We're running low on tyres, but I think he's going to just about hold on. We have a look at everyone else's tyres in here. Prost is very close to going over that 30 mark. Yeah, I can't call this one. I really can't. On to the final lap. We are about to go. We're halfway around. Senna has gone on to lap 53. And, well, it's still too close to call. 31% on the tyres. Our tyres are going to drop off significantly. But Schumacher has an okay gap considering where we've been in this whole race. 3-4 tenths now is what's happened. But as soon as I hit 30%, it's like the tyres fall off. And there you go. It's changed. He's got a 6/10 gap now. He's doing something good, but I'm so scared about when this is going to drop off, as through these corners you can see Patrese closing. But onto the main straight to actually start lap 53 of 53. And Schumacher is the best that he's been all race to keep this 5th. Prost obviously now just trundling along to keep his 4th place, which is a bit disappointing, but it is what it is, as my Patrese had closed the gap there into turn 1. He cannot get past though. He's looking for a way past, and that main straight is where we're going to be really susceptible to an overtake. Those tyres are gone now, and we know that Patrese has got plenty life in his. So out from this hairpin, then through the fast left-hander. Schumacher onto the main straight, has enough fuel about him to maintain this, but has he got enough tyres left to battle the good fight? And he's gonna have Patrese caught on his rear wheel. I'm gonna put him down to balance now because we don't have enough fuel. I don't know who's locked up. I don't know where it is. I don't think it affects us whatsoever. That is Senna having crossed the line. Patrese not close enough, I think, to make a move here. He thought about it. He's still thinking about it. As we go through the sweeping right-hander. Nothing to separate them. But Schumacher can still hold on, taking the middle ground. Is Patrese going to go for a last-minute dive down either side? I don't think he will, but you can see his car shaking back and forth as he tries to unsettle Schumacher by putting his rear view mirrors. And there you can see Patrese trying to now nip it down the inside for what will be the outside of the hairpin. But Schumacher is definitely keeping an eye on him as he come out the last corner. Patrese very close. Can he get enough of a slipstream to beat us? I don't think he can. We're going to cross the line for 5th place. And my God, I've not commented on a whole lap in a long time. That was good fun. 4th and 5th is not exactly what we wanted. We nearly had 2nd. Very frustratingly, I don't know how that happened. My OBS has said that we didn't have a space. I'm pretty sure we did. So the recording's up somewhere in that immense battle. But we've come to the end now, and it is a 4th and 5th for Ferrari today. A decent result. Still big improvements needed, but we'll certainly take it. Schumacher, I would say it was close, with his fastest lap. In actual fact, the same as Gerhard Berger. So we can't complain from that end. He was decently paced, but there's still a lot to work on. If we have a look at the drivers now, you can see Schumacher moves back ahead of the Benetton of Brundle with 2 points. So we gained 5 overall for that one. 5 overall for Williams as well. So in the constructors, we do not change. The gap still remains the same at 29 points. Crucially, though, we are now starting to match Williams. McLaren's still way ahead, and it's not even McLaren, it is Senna. Berger very marginally ahead and between Mansell and Patrese. We can catch them. Prost just had some unlucky races, and he's only a few points behind. Yeah, it's a hard one to describe. We are going in the right direction, but are the board going to give us a long enough to prove that? So we're just voting for a proposed change where the top few teams get additional time in the wind tunnel, which is, certainly needed from us. And you can see it doesn't really actually detriment some of the lower teams. Don't think they're going to go for it, probably not get that. And we've also got a few points to add to our drivers. So David Coulthard, we want his, what do we want of his up? We want his racecraft at the moment. That's what I've been aiming for at the moment. So he's coming along quite nicely. I believe Schumacher also has a point. We've not got as many places to put into his. I think his pace is going to have to go up. I think braking. That's definitely a place we know braking's where he needs to get better. Yeah, it's been pretty good from those so far. If we just have a look at our main profile, we have Silverstone in 4 days. I don't think we even get time to build things. Oh, we do. Sorry. Have a look. You can see the manufacturing. I don't know why I pointed that way. You can't see where I'm pointing. The mouse, that's my pointer. The manufacturing process is completed on the day of, really, the race. The race weekend is there. So we'll get it on one of the cars. Probably, you know, I might be kind. I might give it to Schumacher. He definitely needs just a little bit extra going into this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What has been quite an exciting race, this one. The British Grand Prix is another one that's always good. So I hope you'll join me for that. So until that one arrives, take care.